Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Reading in the Dark. It's spooky, right? I am acting like an idiot at the moment because this is going to be my announcement that I'm taking part in Spookathon 2018. Spookathon. It is October. It runs from October 15th to the what? 15th, 16th, 17th, 15th through the 21st. I can do math too. So anyway, hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Reading in the Dark. I am here to announce my participation in yet another readathon. I'm going to be taking part in Spookathon, which runs from the 15th through the 21st of October. Starts in just a few days, and I have one book that I need to finish before it starts, and that's not a problem. So I am like 90% sure that I'm going to be taking part in Spookathon because it's October, it's my birthday month, and I like spooky things. So Spookathon. And there's a chance that I won't be taking part, and in that case, I won't post this video. In which case, I am talking to no one. But Spookathon is hosted by Lala from Books and Lala, and this year it's hosted by Peter from Peter Likes Books, or should I say Peter Likes Books. I'm actually fans of both of those people, so that's kind of neat. It's normally hosted by Lala and someone else. I think maybe her name was Paige, but this year she just had a baby, and so it's being hosted by Peter. I was thinking about putting my like really Halloween-y reads in this, like Dracula by Bram Stoker and like the Passage trilogy by Justin Cronin. But like those are chunkers, and I don't know that I don't want to put them on a readathon. The challenges for Spookathon are pretty straightforward. There's 5 of them, which is great because I like to read 5 books in 7 days as opposed to reading 7 books in 7 days because I think I've decided that I just can't do that. And let's just start with the first challenge. The first challenge is to read a thriller. Okay, fair. And I've had this book in my TBR for a long time, so I said, what the hell? I'm reading A Density of Souls by Christopher Rice. This is a thriller. I don't know anything about it except that it prominently features some LGBTQIA+ characters, and I dig that. I'm a fan of Christopher Rice. I've read one of his books. I think I read The Snow Garden. And so I want to read more by him, and so I bought this and I never read it. So Density of Souls, that'll be my thriller. The second challenge, that's the word, is to read a book with purple on the cover. And I went back and forth because actually there's purple in the cover for Density of Souls, but I had another book that I actually just bought that I wanted to read instead, and that's Heartbreaker by Claudia Dey. This is a book that I think was just released, and it's about a woman who basically has spent a long time in a cult, and she is escaping from said cult, and I think she's being chased by the people in the cult that she left, possibly, or something. In any case, it does sound really fascinating to me, this idea of someone kind of getting out. And it's a new book, and I'm excited about it, and I love the cover, and it's just all kinds of purple. The third challenge says to read a book not set in our time period. And I have another book that's been in my my TBR pile for a long time, and that's Slade House by David Mitchell. And it is set in many time periods, and I do think that part of it is set in the current day, but it also starts, I believe, in the 70s. And this is a story basically kind of, I think, about a haunted house. The blurb is deliberately vague. It's like, sometimes you see the gate that leads to this house, and sometimes you don't. If the lighting is right, and the moment, I don't know. Oh, and there's like a reclusive brother and sister who will live in the house together, and every 9 years they invite someone in, but that person never leaves or something. And so haunted-y, housey-ness. This is a book that starts, I think, in the 1970s, and that's not our time period, so there you go. I'm explaining this to you as though it were complicated. The fourth challenge for Spookathon says, read a book with a spooky word in the title. I've actually chosen to read, I think this is really a novella, but this is a book that I have had on my mind ever since I was in school, and that is Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. I started to read this book years ago, and as I mentioned in my review for Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, I get annoyed when inside a story, someone starts telling a story, and that story is hugely long, or in the case of Heart of Darkness, I think it is the story, and when I'm not prepared for that, and I don't realize that's going to happen, I find it really annoying. And so I think I like put the book down in disgust, which was silly, but it was like there was like a fisherman or a sailor on a boat at a creepy night telling a story. And I was like, how many more pages is he going to tell this story? Like I was like skipping ahead to the part where they were like, wow, that was a scary story, dude. And then but that never happened. So I put it down, and now I'm realizing that's dumb. So Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, getting a classic out of the way. And I do want to read it, and it's like 100 pages or something. And the Kindle edition that I'm reading says it's 75 pages. So, and again, I don't completely understand what pages are in a Kindle edition, because doesn't that depend on the typeface size that you choose? So I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to read Heart of Darkness for my book with a spooky word in the title, because darkness is spooky, clearly. And I guess, does that mean that my channel is spooky because we're reading in the dark? Ooh. You guys, it's very late, but I have not had anything to drink. I'm just acting like a goon because, I don't know, I'm excited about Halloween, maybe? Sure, we'll go with that. All right, and then the fifth challenge says to read a book with pictures. And I don't have it with me to show you, but I actually ordered it today, and I'm so excited about it. This is gonna be an easy read, although there's 3 of them. So I, like many other people, grew up, I think I was maybe in middle school when the scary story books came out. So Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, this was an anthology of classic old American folklore that was collected by this man named Alvin Schwartz. And it had these absolutely terrifying, creepy AF illustrations. I remember taking more Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is the second book because there were 3, taking it on a Boy Scout campout once. And I think that's the one, maybe it's the first one. There's a story called Clickety Clink about a dead woman who the gravedigger steals the like quarters or the silver dollars from that they put over dead people's eyes. The gravedigger steals them from her, and he goes home, and then she like comes after him basically, and he just hears the sound of the coins rattling on the cup on his dresser by themselves, and they're going clickety clank, clickety clank. Okay, so that was a really scary story, and I read it in a tent. I am so mean. I read this story in my tent to my like tent mate, whose name was Chris. And I already knew that he was easily scared by things, and I was a jerk, and I read him this story, and then I showed him the illustration, and he got really scared, and he went, oh, and he was really scared. All the stories are that way. They're kind of eerie. They're not terrifying, and they're certainly not adult. These are children's books, basically. But they push the envelope because they're very scary, and that's why they were kind of like banned once upon a time. The illustrations are extremely creepy, and they are by an artist named Stephen Gamble, and they really make the book. I mean, the book is great anyway. The stories are creepy, and you can tell that they've been like passed down through the ages. But the illustrations are just so gritty, and they all have like snot hanging off of them, and there's like cobwebs and just like creepy, ghostly, odd, disformed faces and stuff. So I will never forget how much I loved those stories. And when I became an adult, as though there was like a specific moment when that happened. Oh, I'm an adult now. Well, there was some moment in like the last couple of years when I remembered those books, and I was like, oh my gosh, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Do you remember those? And then I found out there had been a 3rd book, and I never knew that. We had the first 2, I think. What I did today was I actually ordered the anthology. So they had a re-release of these stories a few years ago with new illustrations that were not by Stephen Gamble, which were, I guess, a lot less scary, in order to get the book re-released, because I really think that there were a lot of, I don't know if it was like librarians or parents that were just like, this is too scary. And so they came out with a new version with new illustrations that are basically watered down and not as fun. Because like I didn't have nightmares about the book. I just remember thinking it was creepy and fun. So they came out with a new anthology or collection that includes the complete set of all 3 books. And this time they have restored the original illustrations that were so creepy, because that is what everybody remembers about the books, not just the stories, but how scary the illustrations were. And they clearly heard that message loud and clear coming through from all the reviews. If you go on Amazon and try to buy one of these books and you read the reviews, most of the reviews are like 1 star. This isn't the version that I remember. And then the other half are like 5 stars. Oh my God, I remember this. So clearly they like listened. And anyway, so I was able to get the right version, the new version. There's a version of that edition that's coming out for Kindle, but it's not coming out until sometime in the new year. I don't know why there's such a delay. But anyway, so I ordered the paperback, the box set of the 3. I'm super excited about that. I'm stoked. That's going to be getting here like in the next couple days because Amazon is crazy. And I'm super excited. So I'm going to read all 3 of them. They're not long. They're all like 120 pages or something. So that's my final read for the Spookathon for the book with pictures, which is perfect because those are like, in terms of like books with pictures, growing up, that's the only book I can think of. Or that's like the quintessential book with pictures that I can remember because the pictures were so integral to how awesome it was. So for Spookathon this year, I will be reading A Density of Souls by Christopher Rice, Heartbreaker by Claudia Dey, Slade House by David Mitchell, Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and the complete collection of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, collected by Alvin Schwartz and illustrated by Stephen Gammell. And that's my Spookathon TBR. I am super excited about it. It's actually manageable. None of these are super long. I think the longest book is Density of Souls, and it's like less than 400 pages. It's like 350 or so, 380, I think. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be fun. And I really hope that I can stick to it. I am going to a wedding in the middle of Spookathon. So I hope that I can at least finish 4 of these. If I don't finish the Scary Stories books, there's something wrong with me. Because the stories are all about 1.5 pages long. And there's illustrations too. So I really do think that'll be a quick read. And it'll be a nice head start on my October reads. And then assuming that it goes well, I'll still have plenty of time before Halloween to read Dracula again. Thank you for watching this video. And I want to thank Peter from Peter Likes Books and Lala from Books and Lala for hosting this readathon. I guess I'm going to try and take part in the Instagram photo challenges. I've never done that before. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're also taking part in Spookathon. If you are, maybe leave in the comments what you're reading. I'm sure I'll be watching some of your TBR videos. And until next time, I'm Byron, and I will be here. Why do I keep saying I will be Byron until next time? Because again, it's not changing. Until next time, you guys, I will be here in the dark reading.